Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've been doing well. Today we are back here for another review. Now, I've taken a little bit of a break from making videos because I got sick. If you were there on the live stream on Saturday, you probably already understood why, but I'm feeling a little bit better enough to at least talk without coughing consecutively, so that's good. But thank you for being patient, and here we go. So, we've got Satoru Gojo here from Jujutsu Kaisen. This is from season 2. I guess you could say it's Hidden Inventory arc or Teen Gojo or Jujutsu High Gojo. It's however you want to say it. I just say Hidden Inventory. It's a lot easier. But yeah, this Gojo finally released. We have Geto coming next month. I think on the 17th he releases of February, something like that. And yeah, it's pretty good. So let's get straight into reviewing this dude. So I don't have too much different, thoughts about him compared to a lot of the other figures. In terms of design and whatnot, he's more or less similar to like Megami, even his prior, iterations of the season 1 Gojo, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 Gojo. So I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I do like I will say, everybody says that the eyes feel like too big. I think that the eyes are really good, okay? They're bright, which you need to see these eyes, bro. Like, that is one of the highlights of Gojo when he does not have the blindfold on, is his eyes. And the fact that they're so well pronounced here, oh my god, it's amazing. So, yeah, other than that, like I said, there's nothing too crazy about his design. It is what it is. It's okay. Of course, when we get into hopefully future Gojos, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do there. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to show off the accessories. We'll get into the articulation and we'll get into our closing thoughts. So first things first, as I was showing, we have the eyes, the smiling faceplate here. We also have the sunglasses. So what I think is interesting about these, right? And Tamashii, when it comes to doing glasses on characters and having them be removable, it hasn't always been easy. I know characters like Android 21, for example, a lot of people broke their glasses trying to take them off and put them back on. I've not had that problem with these. They've come on and off relatively easy. Just make sure you do it with the faceplate first, which I can briefly show really quick. Alright, so you see there, it's got little slits on each side of the faceplates, and you just make sure you line it up. Of course, sometimes it's a little hard to tell which side is right for the sunglasses, but you just slide them on in there like so, make sure they're matching, and it's in there. So yeah, not too bad. I will say also the sunglasses do offer a different type of expression for each faceplate, and I'll kind of briefly talk about that more as I show the other faceplates. So I'll do kind of a faceplate with and without the sunglasses, so be right back. Alright, so we've got kind of a happy, giddy expression, and this one has his eyes closed and he's kind of blushing there, if you can make that out. Of course, if you put the actual glasses on, it takes away the blushing effect and the closing eye effect to it, and I think it just makes him more of a happy guy, kind of chilling with his friends, whatever. It makes the expression just a little bit different enough that you can get away with some other kind of pose without him having his eyes closed. You know what I mean? So I definitely like the variety there. And I would be curious to see how they could do that for maybe like Nanami, for example. Here you've got your kind of shocked expression. This is kind of reminiscent, I think, when he got stabbed by Toji. And I mean, I guess you could also use it for when he's kind of mid-fight and he's high on his energy or power, whatever it was, I forgot. But yeah, I mean, it works for a variety of different scenes. And then here it just kind of looks like he's, I don't know the right word for this one, but he just kind of not in the mood. Like I said, different expressions for each faceplate with or without these glasses. And here it is with the glasses. And here is the honored one face. This is the name for it. We're not changing it. Looks very, very good. And with the glasses, it kind of just takes that away and it just becomes a normal kind of smiling expression. Now, of course, you get your two fist hands per usual. He's got peace hands, which he has like 3 hands that are actually just for his right arm, which I thought was interesting. I think that they've been doing that for a while now on all the Gojos. Here we have his hand for his other curse technique. I think it's reversal red, or what he failed to do at least in that portion of the series. Here we have the phone, which pretty detailed, I would say. Nothing too crazy there. I was actually surprised that it was attached to the hand already, but I guess that's not really a problem. And we'll have about like 3 total different sets of open palm hands. This is the first one. Here's the second set. And here's the third set. Alright, and lastly we have the pockets here, which personally I'm not a super big fan of this time around. I mean, they're not really attachable pockets, they're just kind of freely sitting there. If you remember Sanji from, I want to say November, October last year, he had actual pockets that you would take out right here at the seam and replace. And he could put his actual hand peg in there. This is a little bit more, obviously easier to do. You don't have to worry about doing all that, and you can just kind of slip it under the actual clothing and it'll stay. And I mean, I guess that works. It looks fine, but for security purposes, I would have liked the other version. So it's kind of in the middle. It's going to be something I think we see maybe on and off. We know with Geto, he's going to have the same thing though. But I'd like to see them adapted to Sanji. So anyways, let's get straight into the articulation and then get our closing thoughts. Alright, so the articulation. Now we're of course going to start here at the neck, and that's about as far as he can look up and about as far as he can look down, side to side, double ball peg of course. The neck does have articulation here at the collar. It is 2 separate pieces, so you could theoretically take this neck out if you wanted to. I'm not sure if it fits on Gojo's other versions, but I do know that the peg you can actually change out. Let me show you. You could take this whole piece out, which is actually a lot easier than you think. I've been taking this on and off for the last few days, so it just kind of comes out for mine. It is not loose, I will say that, so you know, if you're worried about that, I would say it's not necessarily a concern. But it does come out, and you can change it for the other peg on the adult body, which seems to fit pretty well. It looks pretty cool, and it kind of resembles some of the scenes with some of the faceplates from this version to fit with the recent Shibuya arc. So I mean, there you go. But getting into the rest of the articulation here with the arms, good articulation there. Let's see, there is some difference I think in the internal structure with these pegs inside, but more or less it is kind of still the same overall. But butterfly joint, really good this time, no problem extending. You've got your double jointed elbows, really good range there. Got your swivel, oops, there you go. Now, the actual ab crunch is way better than the previous incarnations of this character. Now, it does leave a gap. That is problematic to a lot of people. However, the previous versions did not get this much range, and I think that part of it is based off the way that they set the actual joint inside. Because if you, like, how do I explain this? On the other ones, if you cut inside enough, you could get more range with the actual articulation and hinge doing that. It's more of a thing, I think, the plastic being in the way too. So you are going to get 10 times more range on this figure as opposed to the other one, unless you do some mods. And they're not really hard mods. I think it's just, it really depends on your comfort level, because I was comfortable cutting a little bit into the plastic in mine, and it definitely opened up way more range. So that's essentially the same thing here. It's just a lot lower. This is softer plastic as well, so better overall. So all good. And it is basically the same system. Hinge, a ball peg, and then the waist is sitting on a ball peg. Nothing too different. Same with the legs, nothing too different there. Good range, soft plastic not being in the way, and actually kicking up a lot higher than most usually would. So that's actually really, really good. Got your bend for 90 degrees, then some at the knee. Then you've got your articulation here at the ankle. Very good range. Yeah, very, very good. And you've got your toe hinge. Very, very good stuff all around, which, you know, makes him a well worth it figure if you're just looking for articulation. So he can hit some really, really good poses, and just overall better quality on the plastic. Thank you, because it wasn't so bad on the other figures, but most definitely if you have like Yuji or Megami, you can definitely tell how limited they are, that you have to actually take off this portion if you want them to get some good range. Or again, you have to do some mods inside if you want them to have a better crunch. I don't know how the Figma version compares because I don't have it, but I definitely think that this is a good stand-in as well if you don't have that one. Because again, you can customize with this and the adult version if you have both SHF figures. So let's get into the closing thoughts. And yeah, that's pretty much it so far. Alright, so to conclude this review, you know, this figure as a whole, I mean, I definitely think it's worth it. He comes with, you know, very minor accessories in the grand scheme of effects, but I definitely think that they all help accentuate his character and the look a lot more. And those glasses really work for him. I mean, the fact that they're not solely attached to a faceplate or to a bang, you know, the hair, it's great, because now you can do all sorts of things. Like, you might not be able to tell super well in this particular moment of the video, but I do have him kind of pointing the glasses down with his top finger while he's talking on the phone. And I just think that that's a nice way to really make poses more unique to yourself. And, you know, it really helps heighten the character a lot more because that's how he is in the show and just how he acts. And yeah, I mean, overall, I'm very excited to see how Geto turns out. It should be more or less the same, right? But I guess we'll see. But you know, this is hopeful for me to see major, I don't want to say renovations to characters, but I would like to see another Yuji in the future with this, you know, newly updated plastic and a better placement of his, you know, ball peg hinge, so he has more articulation in the upper torso. So, you know, that's something I'm looking forward to. But quickly on the subject of this line as a whole, it's safe. All right, this series has garnered a lot of popularity in 2023 alone, from the manga and then anime as well. So it's not going anywhere. The only question I really have is, will they do more in terms of adding more releases a year? That is the bigger question, because we know that they're going to keep releasing things for it. It's just, can the pace increase or not? And I don't think that any other release or reveal is detracting from this line, and I don't know why people seem to think that it is. But whatever they announce from, like, I don't know, let's say Pokemon for example, it would not have an effect here. They have so many teams dedicated to stuff, it's not going to take it away. They have a JJK team probably that does this stuff on and off. So I mean, I wouldn't imagine that someone else is going to ruin your chance of getting like Toji, for example. I can probably say that he's somewhere in development already. If not, he's probably going to get announced this year at some point. I mean, just, you got to think about it. They already have 2 figures out. Last year we only got like 3 or 4. So think about the timeline. We may not see a reveal soon, but it's definitely going to happen eventually. It just depends on how many figures that they're going to do a year. And you can kind of start guesstimating, like, it might be here, it might be there. You know, it's all about patience at the end of the day. So I'm going to leave it there before anybody comes for me in the comments. But yeah, great figure, worthwhile pickup, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else they can do with this line. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next review, which should be Spider-Man. So look forward to that one. Catch you later. Peace.